from the Deuce and Mo show with more on how the Kings can take care of business and keep this thing going. Deuce Mason. How are you today, David?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. It's great to talk with you. I got to ask you, though, what is your level of faith right now that we have not lit the beam for the last time this season, sir?
Oh, man. Well, you get to ask that question off the gate? All right. It's going to be tough. It's a daunting task tonight. But, this team also has competed all year. I mean, the Warriors, for the first time in this series, look like a championship team last game, in my opinion. They look legit. All their guys played well. But what I'm telling myself is they played great. All their guys, except maybe DiVincenzo, and the Kings still had a shot when they didn't play great. So, for Sacramento, make a couple more shots, get a couple more rebounds, and you should have a shot in this one. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, David, if that question was too hard for you.
It was. It's just stressful today, okay? It's stressful that the Kings are in this situation. I'm not used to this, Whitey.
Yeah. Well, what'd you have for breakfast? Let me try that. How's that?
Breakfast burrito.
Yeah, okay, good.
Hit the spot.
Excellent.
Deuce, De'Aaron said the other day that his finger didn't feel like his finger really bothered him, but he went 0 of 6 in that fourth quarter. How are you feeling about De'Aaron's finger? Do you think he's fine?
One, I think he would not say anything if it wasn't fine. He's just going to keep fighting through it. I mean, I'm sure he looked a little tired last game too. I thought the team looked a little tired. It didn't seem like they were playing with kind of that same pace. I'm sure it impacted things. I think at one point he did get hit and he was kind of shaking it off a bit. Yeah. You have to think it's going to impact things. And that's why, to me, it's imperative. The other guys have to step up. You can't be counting on Fox to score 30 points a game like he did early in this series. Other guys have to make shots. And, Mike Brown said before last game, their analytics department had a stat that said the Kings had the most wide open threes of any team in the playoffs. And now it's up to this team that was so good at shooting threes throughout the year to knock them down.
Deuce Mason with us from, of course, the Deuce and Mo podcast, as you well know. We were throwing this around, Deuce. We got a poll question today, a YouTube poll question. Who is the most unlikely hero for the Kings tonight? So often in these postseason games, regardless of the sport, you have somebody's like, oh my goodness, where'd he come from? Looney is that player to a degree for the Warriors, although he did it last year. Is there somebody maybe unexpected that you think has a really good chance of saving the Kings bacon tonight, or at least just having a one of those great games that keeps them in this thing?
Oh, man. The guy I want it to be is Kevin Huerter.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can't be this bad the whole series, right? He's 4-25 from 3. He knocked down one the other night, and I was like, oh, he's going to start feeling good. You could tell there was a sense of relief. I think his next attempt rattled in and out. But, I mean, that's the guy that I think could pop off and knock down 5 or 6 in the game. He's done it this year. So can this be the night? That would open up so many things for the Kings offense. And it's hard to know what to expect because we really haven't seen this Kings team in a situation like this before, where it's literally you win or you go home. So I'm eager to see who is the guy that steps up. It has to be one of those guys. It's not going to be just a Fox night. You can't count on that. I mean, you're going to have multiple guys. I think you have to go back to game 1 where you had guys like Lyles and Monk step up. The Kings, 4 of their 5 starters have been really disappointing in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, David, I got to say, and I understand, but you seem like you're in a really difficult place with this right now. I understand. Yeah.
It's stressful. It is. I mean, I think I've enjoyed the season so much, like most Kings fans. But, for the last 16 years, we've known the season ended in mid-April. Not knowing when this is going to end, it kind of throws you off a little bit. I don't want it to end tonight. I think the Kings are going to compete. These games, with the exception of Game 3, have been close. And if I'm the Kings, you have to be confident going into this one that you guys can compete because you have done it in this series. You have made the Warriors work. I do think the rest thing is the recovery thing is an interesting storyline in this game. Steph Curry's been playing so many minutes, coming off 43 points or 43 minutes the other night. He doesn't have 2 days off to recover. This is 1 day off. I think Chris Watkins was talking about this. This older team, how are they able to recover and play at this pace that Sacramento wants to play at when they only have 1 day off?
That's a great point that guy made. Deuce, a lot of people have, especially yesterday, just about all day, people were complaining about Domantas Sabonis's performances in our comments section. What have you thought about Domas' series so far, and what adjustments do you think he can make with only 2 games potentially left?
Especially Deuce, because you know the tricks of the big man trade. I remember when you were playing against was it Rich Manning you were guarding one time? So you know all the yeah.
That was an iconic performance. People still talk about this to this day. With Sabonis, don't overthink things. Right. I think when the Kings have been out there this year, he's so decisive, right? Like he moves, he just keeps it moving. I think he's thinking too much. He's overthinking. They're going to be physical with him. It's a good matchup. Looney, I think too many people in Sacramento dismissed Kevon Looney headed into the series, dismissed Draymond Green, like Sabonis was just going to get buckets in the series. It's because they're strong. They get after it. I think Sabonis just needs to play his game. Don't hesitate on the mid-range shot. Take the shot with confidence. Play your game. Don't just barrel down the lane, lowering the shoulder. They have that red well. Make quick decisions, and they should be fine.
I think that's a great point. I agree with you. I know the Warriors and the Kings both play, they call it 0.5 basketball, where whatever you do, you're supposed to decide to do it ideally within half a second. Doesn't always work that way, but that's the idea. So whatever Domas is going to do, when he gets the ball and holds it, and when they zone him, it makes it a little more difficult. You get the ball and hold it, and already the offense is disrupted before you've done anything if you just hang on to the ball a little bit. So, Deuce, I think that's a great point, actually.
Oh, well, I got a good point.
I know. I thought so. I was waiting for the punchline on that one.
All of a sudden, I'm feeling better about this.
If you were coaching, and I'm sure Mike Brown, if he hasn't already, he'll ask you for a few coaching tips. Is there anything you would do? And we're not criticizing him because who knows what he's going to try tonight. He says maybe it's a kitchen sink game. So again, I'm not asking for criticism of him to this point, but is there anything you would do as far as mixing up rotations, give somebody more minutes, bringing somebody off the bench sooner, anything like that comes to mind tonight?
Pre-game, I'm going up to Herter and giving him a nice slap in the face. Just a little. Yeah, I'm trying to make him mad a little bit. I think they roll out the same starting lineup. I think Herter's probably on a short leash because if not, you go to Davion and let him try to make Steph work tonight. And that's the biggest thing. Can you make Steph work? He's still going to get his. I just don't know. Like, what else can they do? Like, to me, we could talk about adjustments all day long. Mm-hmm. You got to knock down some shots. Who's knocking down shots? And maybe you look to go to TD at some point because he's been liable to come in and be that microwave, come in and get something going. But other than that, it's make shots, get some rebounds, get a couple of more stops, and take care of the ball. I mean, these games have been pretty close. It's just the little things at this point.
Mm-hmm. I know that you're worried about this game. Is Mo as concerned as you are, or is she more optimistic? No, she's kind of the basketball person. In the
Morgan she's already talked herself into this team being done. She's already gone. It's been a fun year. I'm not going to be disappointed no matter what. And look, I'm not saying they can't win the game. It's just look, this team plays really well at home. They were 33-8 at home during the regular season. I think the Warriors are playing the best basketball at the perfect time. Wiggins looks like Andrew Wiggins again, right? Mm-hmm. Like, all their guys are clicking. I think Draymond's been fantastic. Curry and Clay do their thing. It seems like everything is going in the right direction for them. And they're motivated. They don't want to – you think they want to get back on the bus and come to Sacramento for Sunday? There's no chance they want to do that. You don't want to mess with the Game 7. So that it just seems like a very daunting task, but the Kings have also performed well on the road this year. Best road record in the West. That's the one thing with this Kings team. They're going to compete. They'll be in the game. Just can they execute and knock down some shots?
Thank you, David. Appreciate it very much. Talk to you soon. Enjoy the game.
Sounds good. Talk to you guys later.
All right. Yeah, maybe we'll talk to him after the Kings win Game 7, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll have to have him on Monday.
Look, it doesn't look good right now.